sharing it away right now.
All set.
Welcome live to another great edition, you sports heads, too. Coming in Klutch on Monday night, 6:30 to 7:30. This podcast being brought to you by Eric B. Media and, of course, the great, wonderful folks at Troy City Mortgage. Troy City, brought to you by them and their partners as well. Now they have a new partner with the Walsh Title and Closing, working together to bring you the best home buying experience. You can't have one without the other. Troy City Mortgage, the best place to get a mortgage in Mass and Rhode Island, led by the great Dave Pereira. The team at Troy City has local roots and deep knowledge and expert solutions to get you the best mortgage possible. Give them a call at 508-207-5864. That's 508-207-5864. Tag teaming with Walsh Title Closing and Troy City Mortgage. Welcome, folks, to another special edition. We are super excited to be here today, where we will be having a special guest on after our first break to discuss the great sports collection, sports memorabilia, breaks. You know what the topic is. It's been a hot button topic for a long time. So, as always, when we start our podcast, Cole, welcome.
What up, kid?
What's going on, man? And we always are going to start with the opening vent, and that is being brought to you by Core Nutrition at 25 Market Street in Swansea, Massachusetts. The folks at Core Nutrition give you the amazing shakes and let you get on that lean, mean fighting machine experience through their great shakes, teas, and everything that you would need for your dietary needs. They're great folks there. Go check them out, 25 Market Street in Swansea, Massachusetts. And, of course, we have Titletown Trucking as well at 508-264-3336 and a truckload of champions.
Also, make sure you book DJ Classic. You can book him at bookdjclassic@yahoo.com.
There you have it, folks. So we are super excited to get started for many different reasons. First and foremost, it's our very first podcast that's being transmitted in our new studio.
Yay.
We have now moved into a new venue, so we're super excited. A collective effort to get us where we are today. So I wanted to thank Boomer and obviously Eric B. Media to allowing us to still be on and allowing us to make the move happen and get it up and running. A lot of work, but we made it happen. So thank everyone. So we are going to get rolling with the opening event. And I don't even know who starts.
It doesn't matter to me, man.
Good, I'll start. So, so here we go. So I finally finished watching The Man in the Arena. And as I mentioned when I talked about The Man in the Arena, 508, by the way, 974-3040, if you want to be chiming in today, a little bit later on during our special guest. But I want to put out that number now in case folks want to write that down. We are expecting your lovely phone calls today, so please call in. So I watched it go.
Yep.
And as the went on, it got suckier. The second wave of the Patriots era after 2015, really, you could kind of see the change of the culture of the team.
Yes.
So the first half of the team, you're seeing Bill's genius ways of getting that team where it needs to be.
Correct, yep.
And Tom is still kind of an unknown commodity, but he really has these gutsy, intangible things, and that defense is stellar. Then they go like 9 years and 10 years of, man, he may not win another one. And then there was the controversy, not the controversy, but the comparison with him and Joe Montana. And then finally they get a lucky break with Malcolm Butler at the end to kind of open up the floodgates for like a 2.0.
That's where it all started.
Here's where I have my issue. So if you were watching it, you were going to clearly get hints that the era with Tom Brady here, particularly after 2017, was going to be the end. Not maybe. It was probably going to be the end. It was the last contract he had. But you minions out there, some of you, want to just sit here and say, it's Bill's fault. And Bill just, If you think that Bill woke up to go see film on the Cleveland Browns on his stationary bike and then stops his bike and says, I think we got to get rid of Brady. That's not how it went.
Are you sure about that?
I am pretty positive.
Positive?
I am about as positive.
Because, everyone thinks that's how it went.
So. I'm about as positive as what I guess is going to come on and talk about great things. That's how positive I am. So what I'm saying is there was already a premeditated situation that was going on in Brady's head. Maybe the environment and the culture wasn't working out. 2017, they lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, and that was I kept hearing it. In that particular episode, by the way, if you haven't watched it, Brady brings on 2 guests on top of himself. And in this episode, he has Gronk, and it's talking about how difficult it was. And every week was a grind in this and that, and it was so difficult. Then when they get to the end, it was almost a breath of fresh air when the Super Bowl was over because they had been worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. The wheels were coming off. And the contract was coming to an end. And I think there was a premeditated situation that Tom says, I'm kind of done here. And it's no hard feelings. It was 20 years.
Yes.
20 years of success. And now it's so simplistically simplified. Look, I see how I did that? Simplistically simplified. I'm not sure if that's even good English. I don't give a rat's ass anyway.
I don't know how you did that.
I could care less. We have what?
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter. English is like my 3rd language. So really, anything that goes, I have an excuse forever in my life. So they want to make it sound like it was just Bill Belichick that didn't want to be there. Maybe Bill wasn't supporting the idea, but the reality was Brady came up with a decision that he was not going to be here.
So you know how we have our Brady talks and everything about that on here. So I don't know if you heard the report today that came out that
I did.
He was looking to go to the Miami Dolphins.
Yes.
With the head coach, Sean Payton,
yep.
of the New Orleans Saints. So if that doesn't justify kind of what we've been saying about Brady this whole time, and everyone keeps saying Belichick pushed him out the door. No, Brady wanted to do other things.
He did.
He came to a point in his career where he's ready to do other things.
He was. And all I'm simply saying is after watching that, you pick up the pieces and you have to read between the lines and you'll know that in itself, there was some things going on there, and he had made some determinations based on what was leading up to that point. They probably wasn't going to stick around.
Yeah.
And 2019 was just, we're going to roll with it and see what happens. And then that was it. That's all I'm trying to get at, folks. I am not telling you that I despise Brady. I'm just telling you that there's a lot of blame to go around, and Brady has gotten maybe 2% of the blame. And I think it's an injustice to the organization that allowed him to be him and allowed many people to, around him to be mediocre and then become great. Of course, we know Tom Brady's the greatest football player ever. That's all I got to say about the opening event there. Colby, you're up.
I know you guys can probably hear some things going on. This is our first night at the new studio, so just bear with us as we work through a bunch of technical stuff here.
It's probably me, all my yelling.
So just want to get that out there. So my event is going to be about Major League Baseball and how it's pathetic that they're going to have to cancel freaking games.
Flag Day.
Today was supposed to be the Judgment Day, I guess you can say. They were supposed to figure it out and have it all settled by today. And if they didn't get it done, guess what? They were going to have to suspend the season, obviously into the season. So to me, again, baseball's trying to gain all these viewers. They're trying to gain they want to be up there with the big boys, with the NBA and the NFL. This isn't the way they're going to do it.
Right.
I mean, I can't get over this.
It's an absolute debacle.
I mean, because they knew
it really is.
I mean, think about it. They knew it was coming ever since the World Series ended. Everyone knew that it was coming.
It was. Yep.
And you're going to tell me you're going to wait till what? What today's March? Tomorrow's March 1st.
Yep.
And you still haven't figured it out.
Nope.
They
haven't. How about that 15 minutes of fame? Let's get together. 15 minutes later, gone.
See you later. I mean,
I don't think the owners care.
They don't. But
I think that's a big problem.
But guess what? They're going to keep killing the game. I'm sorry. And that's a game that I tell you that I first loved. And that's what drew me into sports was baseball. And it sucks to say that it's going downhill.
And if you think for a minute that they're even going to be looking at changing the game and changing the pace of the game, they can't even get into an agreement about the arbitration
Correct.
and players and contracts. Forget about speeding up the game. You are going to watch a 5-hour baseball game with 75 pitchers and 10,000 statistics and 10 nerds sitting there. That's baseball. And it's either going to be bombs or strikeouts.
Correct.
Small ball, money ball does not exist, folks. So we can't change as fans, support anything that they're doing in Major League Baseball because they can't even get their act together.
No. It's
what an embarrassment. They were talking about Flag Day, which is like mid-June. Don't play it all. Just don't play. You know what? It's honestly, it's a lot easier for me in my little sports podcast because I don't have to worry about every statistic in baseball.
You're right.
In wars.
I was going to say the stupid
wars. War and warp and QLB. And I want to make things up. This XLDN. I'm not sure what that means, but they'll come. I don't mean something. Yeah. Extra base hits leading the dugout. I don't know. Yeah, stop it. So they got their own problems.
Yes.
And it's a very valid vent. Been a hot button issue, and Don Henry's a big predicator of that. He's one of the biggest, richest guys there, and he doesn't care.
Yeah, and I mean, I could really go off on it, but what else am I supposed to say? You know what I mean? I can just keep saying they suck. Baseball's going downhill, but clearly they don't care. So, guess what? Goodbye, baseball, right?
Goodbye. See you later, and maybe I'll see you next year. So there you have it, folks. There is our opening fan in our new studios. Super excited to be here. Of course, we're still in the great city of Fall River. And 508. 974-3040. Stick around. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're bringing on our special guest to talk about one of my favorites, which will be sports cards, sports memorabilia, collections. Wipe them off, dust them off. You know it's been a hot market in the last couple of years. You know you went in there during COVID, and some of you made some big money. I know I made a little bit, and I'm actually going to have to get taxed on that. But that's a different topic. That's a different topic for a different day. So stay right there. On the other side, we're going to bring on the great Jared, and we'll be talking some sports memorabilia. Stay tuned. Welcome back, folks. We are the Comin and Klutch Sports Podcast on Monday night, 6:30 to 7:30. We, as we mentioned, have a very special guest to my right and your left. We have the great Jared Santos. Jared, how are you, man? Thank you so much
for having me.
How you doing, buddy? No problem.
Jared, folks, coming in from the South Coast. Is it Cards and Collectibles?
Cards and Collectibles, yes.
And Jared, I came across his Facebook page probably a few months ago, and I was ecstatic that there was someone in the city that was looking to break in, no pun intended, breaking into the exciting world of sports memorabilia and sports cards. So, Jared, you know, before we kind of get really into the goodies of why people to chime in, talk to me a little bit about how you started with this, with this hobby. How did this all kind of start?
So, I mean, we all started as a kid.
Yeah.
But right into just before COVID, we noticed kind of a bump kicking in, and we all started to get back into it. COVID really pushed everybody over the edge with it. Everybody looked at their old collections.
Yep.
Everybody needed a little extra money, and it kind of spiraled from there. We kind of been involved in a Facebook page where we were doing the breaks and things like that, basically driving around everywhere, picking up product. We met some vendors that said, hey, get a shop, and we can wholesale you. And December 2020 is when we opened, and haven't really looked back.
There you have it.
So what do you think? Do you think, so what made it spike in COVID? Just everyone being bored. So let's just take out our cards again. And
everybody had a lot of time on their hands. Everybody had a little extra time. And like I said, if I have a card in my basement and I can't work for the next couple of weeks, I held on to a card for a while. It might be time to cash it
exactly.
in. And I think and then it just made everybody.
It kind of just took off from there. Yeah,
totally agree. Big time. Totally agree. What was your kind of first experience, with cards? Did you start with cards? Did you start with
my father used to take me to the shop, right after school, grab a couple packs. They used to be right on South Main Street. It's actually state representative's office, but at the time it was a drugstore and card shop.
Yeah, we all had those.
That's it. We'd go there for a soda and a coffee milk and open a couple packs of cards.
Yeah,
that's
it was so simplistic then.
Very very different.
Of course,
different collecting then than it is now.
It definitely is. It definitely is. So, folks, we wanted to bring Jared in to kind of talk a little bit about some of the things that he has seen in the industry and maybe some things that you can get smart on. One of the things that's been a hot button issue, Jared, has been, fakes. When talking about signatures, and I brought in a couple of things here that I've collected through the years, and we have some cards here as well. And people get really nervous about that.
Very nervous. I tell everybody you got to stay with your main companies: PSA, Beckett, JSA for signatures. That being said, there are some athletes that sign personal deals with other companies, and those are still good too.
Yep.
But the one fake ruins a company.
Right. Exactly.
One fake ruins a company. So
you have an example of that? I heard about global authenticators at one point.
Global, but see, that's a great example. Global had a problem, but Global also had a contract with David Ortiz. So during David Ortiz's playing career,
right,
Global Authentication was David Ortiz's autograph. That's where it was coming from. There was an old company, Ace. Ace was very reputable. They messed up on a McMantle really bad. Ace is no longer around now.
Right.
So
of one bad hit.
So like guys like PSA, they're not taking in your hand signed Brady right now. They're not taking in a lot of those hand signs because they don't even want to mess with them because they don't want it to affect them. That's why you see a lot of these on-scene authenticators.
So to me, this is what kind of sucks about this is like, we like to go try to get the autographs in person and do all that stuff because to us that's like a thrill. I mean, that's been a thrill for me like as a kid. It's which McCall saying at this hotel we got to go there. So for us, the people that actually go there for the insight, for the joy of it, and then we go to bring it to PSA and they're like, this is fake.
Right.
Like it's just so aggravating. You know what I mean?
There's still a market for hand signs and I mean, you could give me 5 Brady autographs or 5 Larry Bird autographs, and I'm going to tell you the fake one. There are some, but it's tough for those companies to put their stamp on it.
I get what you're saying.
And you got to think, the baseball players of the 70s and 80s that used to have clubhouse guys sign their stuff. That was a big thing too. That kind of was a big part of it.
Yeah.
Well, we want to bring in some stuff. I know you brought some things into. So for those of you who are not into the sport, Jared brought in some boxes, and these boxes, they call them breaks, and you kind of go through them and you kind of see what's in there, and maybe you get a diamond in the rough and you kind of expose them, and people like been on different teams and like what team you want. So before the break happens, you say, listen, I'm going to put $10 on Baltimore, $15, on Kansas City, $5 on maybe the Jets or something, right? So the price is relative.
Usually a little bit more, but
yeah. They're usually a lot more than that,
right?
So, I wanted to bring in a couple of things that were mine. The first one that I have here is a lovely Jack Morris from the what is this? Let's see, 1992. Jack Morris. It's a stadium club. Worth anything? All right, here we go. Here we go. See this?
That's what you do. You fold it,
There you
throw
go.
it in the
That's
trash.
what you do. You fold this, and you go like this, right? That was gone next. And I have here a really nice rookie card from Ken Caminetti. Remember that guy? Ken Caminetti. This guy blows, by the way. No, I think he was okay. So we used to go in the back, right? Check the back of this, right? And let's see, 85, he played in El Scala. Had 4. I usually do this all the time. I used to look at home runs and RBIs, nothing else. But 4 home runs, 73 RBIs. And then he had 12 home runs, 82 ribbies in Columbus. He had 15 home runs and 69 ribbies. And then he came to the Astros in 87. He had 3 home runs and 23 ribbies. And then everything else I thought was gibberish.
It's going to be worth 2 cents.
Ken, what do you think?
About a penny.
It's about a penny. Here we go. So see this, folks? There you go. That's gone. So there you have it. That's how I used to do that. Right. So, one of the things, in all seriousness, there's so much stuff out there. Right?
So much.
And how do you filter that stuff? And there's different levels and genres, and it gets so confusing. And one of the things that I like that you told me that I never thought about, and I wanted you to tell the audience that's chiming in, is your kind of path of a player. And like we talk about rookies, right? And then talk to us a little bit about that. Like you told me that at the card shop. That was really cool.
Every player has a card bump, I'll call it. So on your rookie year, you're going to get some rookies. All those guys have a value. Then you'll always see the top. I'll use football, for example. You'll always see the top quarterbacks. They're going to hold your value, rookie quarterbacks. Then it's going to be that Pro Bowl or that proven year. So we'll go last year. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, cards through the roof. Joe Burrow gets hurt. Justin Herbert takes over. Now we're into second year. Both of them played well again.
Right.
Their cards took another little bump. Now Joe Burrow taking over overtaking Herbert's value.
Right. Interesting. Because he went further in the playoffs, perhaps, or
that's what it is. Burrow was the better quarterback coming out of the draft.
You're right.
And Herbert had his questions. Now Burrow's winning. Herbert's winning, but still not in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So Burrow is now taking his seat back, if you will. Now you're going to see their values kind of level off. You're going to see still people collecting them, looking for the rookie cards that'll gradually go up. But you're not going to see a real big bump until a Super Bowl win.
Okay, that's like a next phase, a next tier.
They both got their Pro Bowls, so now it's a Super Bowl win. It's really when everybody's talking about them. So then it's going to be that Super Bowl win, and now you got a guy like Mahomes. They're calling next best thing. He gets a little bump. Retirement, another nice bump.
Okay.
Hall of Fame, another little bump, and then you're down. Unfortunately,
yeah,
that's it. But then again, you also have these Netflix shows and things like that bring it back up. So
right.
So like Colby, for example, Colby hit his 3 big bumps all in the same year.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? He passed,
which is very, very unusual.
Passed Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
Retired Hall of Fame and passed. Yeah.
And you will see he'll level off. Now everybody wants him because we're still talking about him. It's kind of died down a little bit.
Yeah.
But now Netflix is already talking about it. You'll see another bump when they do a documentary.
So,
Gotcha.
So that Michael Jordan documentary.
Same thing.
Same exact thing,
Same
right?
exact
so
thing.
Jordan stuff was always kind of a hot commodity. His shoes were kind of a hot
Both
commodity.
sides.
The shoes are always going to be a hot commodity.
But even the shoes and cards the same. They both took a huge bump when The Last Dance came.
Okay.
What I brought in here was just a couple of examples. So the ball is a David Ortiz ball to PSA.
Yep.
Now I bought that when Dave was, I think it was after the 07 World Series. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I brought him in is because he now, where is it? Would there be a natural bump because he just got into the play?
Hall of Fame, already a big bump. You go right on eBay, you can see a card that sold the week before he hit the Hall of Fame is probably 30% higher
Yep.
after he hits off.
And do you think the cards are the biggest bumps, or is there certain memorabilia like balls versus bats or helmets versus? How does that?
There's a market for all of it.
All of it. Okay.
It's really the signature and what you do. There are diehard mini helmet fans to the point they get them customized. They get them
They go
all
nuts
souped up. They go
because
nuts.
they're all compact. Yeah.
And nice. And we have other guys. We have actually a customer that he wants 32 full-size NFL helmets signed.
Wow.
He's building a new house.
Yeah, and he wants that whole thing.
Wants a wall.
That's cool though. You know,
That is
You know
pretty
what I mean? But that takes up.
Tremendous amount of
it's probably going to
This
take up. I was
entire
going to say
thing,
about the
right.
whole wall, right? Yeah.
You could do 32 of those on this table in 2 rows.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly,
Right?
yeah.
So
What about a guy like the one that I brought the helmet that has a dual signature? It's got Brady and Bill.
I saw Bill Belichick. That's a tough signature. As expensive as Brady is to get, they're out there. Bill doesn't sign too much. Right when I walked in, I saw that. That's
The reason why I brought that in is because some people think that having multiple signatures, does that devalue? Does that bring up value? Does it depend? Like I know some
depends 100%. You can best example, Boston Celtics.
Yep.
To buy a team signed basketball from their pro shop, I believe it's about $250. To buy just a Jason Tatum signed basketball, it's about $400.
Yeah, there you go. So in that case,
and his name is on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the single one
is
is worth
great.
more.
It's like you look at some of Brady's rookies.
Yeah.
He's got dual signatures with, Bishop from the starter, the backup to Bledsoe, and it sells for a lot less than just.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Michael Bishop on that card.
Right,
That definitely brought the value down.
But that being said, Brady Belichick's a little different.
Yeah.
Brady Moss, they have some of those cards.
Right.
Brady Moss, that connection. Dallas Cowboys, you're not going to go wrong with Aikman, Smith, Irving. If they're all three are together, it still holds the value. You know what I mean?
So what about the one that you have that's not here? You have a full size helmet that has Brady, Belichick, and Kraft all on the same helmet.
Same thing. Yeah, that's a great piece.
Yeah,
that
was a rarity too.
Yeah.
That was a rarity too. I think that actually was like at a charity thing that they had, and it was quite expensive at the time.
I'm sure.
So there you have it, folks. If you want to chime in and maybe have a question for Jared, we're probably going to get cracking here in a little bit. The number 508-974-3040. You can catch Jared and in his spot. Jared, where's that spot at? Where's your spot
So
at?
we're old spot inside the park batting cages.
There you go. Everybody knows what that is.
288 Plymouth Avenue. We're right inside of there. Monday through Friday, we're 3 to 7, and weekends we're noonish to 5.
There you have it.
I say noonish. I work overnight, so
Right.
I get there about 12:15.
So folks, if you have any questions, Jared is a very stand-up guy. He's when I first met him, I actually brought in a couple, Brady Bowman, and he goes, "Oh my God, what are you doing with that thing?" And he kind of helped me up.
I think he had it in just a penny sleeve.
Yeah.
He did. I remember that.
Really,
He did.
I was like, "Oh man!"
He
actually stopped me. I think he elbowed somebody, and he went to the other side, and he grabbed a more legitimate thing. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And that was the thing. I had collected Brady at the time. Brady had obviously taken off, and I figured I stack like some of his stuff, and it just kind of sat in the box forever, like up until a couple of years ago. So, I know Colby brought a couple of things. So I brought a couple of, I did the same thing that I did, with Brady, which was I wound up grabbing, they're a little more expensive now, a bunch of, Mac Jones stuff, right?
Yep.
So I got the, the
Pro set, yeah.
Pro set. There's this one that it's a little bit more rare.
Flash, yep.
I think this just has a kind of
the patch.
The patch on, right? Then you got a couple of base cards here, on Marquise Brown. There's a couple of different variations on Marquise. Chase Young rookie. Mike Thomas had a kind of a unique year.
Yeah.
Then you got a couple of these base cards, and you probably have a guy who's probably going to blow anyway. I brought him in just for fun. Yeah. So so a guy comes in, he brings this stuff to you. I mean, you could probably spend your whole shift talking about stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We try to help with values. If people have questions, really the best gauge of your value. We use eBay sales.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of them.
That's the most active sales you're going to see on cards. There are other sites, but I mean, there are millions and millions of cards on eBay. So you get a good grasp of the last 3 sold for, $140.
I get what you're saying,
That's
yeah.
your range,
So what about numbered cards? Talk to me about number. Is there something that folks should try to get? I think a couple of these, when I try to get smart, I try to find something that was numbered.
Yeah.
Then something that's numbered and has an autograph. Like, talk to me about that. Is that
So
is that a marketing gimmicky thing, or there's
that is actually what's kind of saved the hobby. So mid '80s to early '90s, it's called the junk era. Actually, to late '90s.
Yeah.
Those cards,
yes, that are on the ground.
Junk era. There are some good cards in there, but they need to be graded now because there are so many. And the Ken Griffey Jr. card, rookie card, really is the one that kind of killed everything.
Yep.
So what the card company did?
There you go.
There's one of them. Yeah, the upper deck one is the one that
So-
really killed everybody.
Yeah, so I mean, this is why I brought this one. I mean, so Ken Griffey was my favorite player growing up. So that's that. But I think that's only an 8. So that's probably not crazy money for
It's
that.
an 8, yeah, not
Yeah.
too crazy. Tens because there were so many.
Then I got it
9s and
again,
10s,
but
yeah.
I didn't grade that one, obviously. So, because I have, I didn't bring all my Griffies, but I got like every Griffey
Ton of
at
them,
home.
right?
Yeah.
I would always suggest that people find your 3 best. Wait till the prices go down. Right now, PSA is
Try to
only
get it for the camera so they see what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, I have a couple of Mac Jones, right there. A couple of Rooks right there. You probably can't see them, but again, this one is numbered 25 out of 25.
So
And this one is numbered 29 out of 35. So these were a couple of them that were numbered.
So that's what saved the hobby is the numbered cards.
Yeah.
After they were overproduced and
Okay. So it was to control the inventory.
So what they do now is they have, and so I brought a couple things too. They have your hobby boxes.
Yep.
The hobby boxes are your most expensive.
Of course. I've seen the prices on those
Oh,
things.
yeah. Those are going to be packed with more numbered cards, guaranteed autographs, stuff like that.
Yep.
Then it works its way down. Blaster boxes. I think I have some mega box here. Every retail. So this would be considered hobby. Everything else outside of it's considered retail.
Okay. So that front box would be like, that's the high collector, the serious collector that's trying to chase something.
And that's what you see a lot of the breaks with, because this box now probably $750.
Wow.
But
750, folks.
700,
Not
not
$7.
$7.
Do not bring your $7 and your 50 cents. You are going nowhere.
So what happens is now you get in a break, and someone will take 2 of these and another hobby box with it, sell $50 spots, 32 spots. Everybody will get a random team. Some are done different, but like I say, we do random teams. So one spot gets you a random team. You get the New England Patriots.
Anything that's New England.
And a Mac Jones of 10 comes out of there. Just numbered, not even the autograph, just those numbered cards. You're into a couple $1,000s
Wow.
for your $50.
Well, my kid, I sent Jared, a photo. So and then I did that on purpose. So my kid had a 1-of-1 T. Higgins.
With a lot more today than it was.
Well, of course you can't find him because he's 11 and he's a boob. But, sorry, X, I love you, but come on. My question for doing that on purpose was: do you get people sending you photos or texts like that?
All the time.
Is that hard to gauge through the phone, or something that obvious that shows like a 1-of-1 and it shows the player? Is that a little bit easier?
I'd rather have you text it to me because you guys have been to the shop. It's 46 stairs to get up there.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't,
Get your and if you want to get your steps in, 288 Plymouth Ave.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not have you lug in 3 boxes of cards, but
I just have Colby do one.
show me some pictures.
Yeah,
Colby,
I do it all for him.
Colby's in shape and he's better looking.
We're in the process of trying to get maybe a full consignment case. So
Okay.
even if we're not buying your cards and reselling them, we might be able to take some, put them on our shelves, and
Very cool.
space is limited. We're working on that, and we're getting there.
Okay, good stuff. We're gonna take another quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna maybe break and take a couple
Well, I
of things.
got some questions too, but we'll come back. So
when we come back on the other side, so stay tuned. Hope you're enjoying it. And we got Jared, and we'll be back in the view on the other side. Don't go anywhere. That helps. And we're back, folks. 508-974-3040 is the call-in number for tonight's sports podcast coming in clutch. As we came off the break, we have Jared, our guest here. If you missed it, we were talking about the sports memorabilia, sports collectors, cards, and all kinds of good stuff that deals with that. What to look for, what not to look for, fakes, number cards, all kinds of goodies. Check him out. He's at 288 Plymouth Avenue in Fall River. You can check the hours on his Facebook page. And we're going to continue to roll here, folks. Colby, why don't you take it away?
So, yeah, I just had a couple of questions just on some cards, if it's worth even putting up.
Sure.
But so this card I've had for years. I know there's not many of this one, and it's a Griffey, signed by Griffey by Score. I've been trying to look that up on eBay, and I can't find any of those. So I don't even know like how to even price that.
So I had Colby bring that one in because it's such a rare piece, and sometimes I've heard the rarity pieces become difficult.
That's it. You know, if you can't find a price, I tell people you got to make your own price and shoot for it. So, something like this, I would find a rarer card, or let's say a Griffey numbered to 10 autograph, and that'd be my starting point. That being said, say that starting point is $500. I would put it up at an auction for $1,200 best offer.
I get what you're saying. Just see what you get for offers.
Or 500, 1,000 best offer. And, you know, just so you never undersell yourself either if you can't find it. Right. You know what I'm saying? There's actually a story that hit a couple months ago. In 2000 and
let me show that up. Cool.
Try to get that on. It's all right.
In 2019 or 18, a guy had a flawless, flawless is a $10,000 box of cards, 7 cards. It comes in a briefcase.
We have a call here.
Crazy.
You're on Comin Klutch. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, Xavier. Oh boy. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Oh, here we go. Let's try this again.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You're on, Xavier. You're on the show. Go ahead. Can you hear me? Oh, you're gonna have to try to call it back, bud. Did I get your T. Higgins card? So here we have it. So we have a very demanding 11-year-old that's worried about his 1-for-1 T. Higgins. Yes, we took a look at it. You know,
so, I would have loved to see it in person.
Yeah,
I
was going to say you have to know where it is if you want to know it.
Yeah,
you want to know about it.
But go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this is something that I don't even know if I'd want to part ways with, just because Griffey, like I said, is my idol. But like something like this it's so rare that it might be worth it. You know what I mean?
Big time.
So, so I just had a question about that. This one I've had in my closet for years. I don't know why this was all like this. I know that had Shaq.
I've never seen this.
So, but it, like, you know,
through Upper Deck. Upper Deck is an older. They don't authenticate much anymore, but they are one of the only Jordan authenticators.
Okay.
So Michael Jordan, Upper Deck. I also left out Fanatics, which you can't fake a Fanatic. Fanatic direct with the players. Their website sells. Sports
memorabilia. I've seen that. Yeah.
You're gonna pay top dollar for Fanatic, but
you're
guaranteed.
You know it's real.
My future Brady jersey will be from Fanatic. I'm not gonna mess around.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. So like I said, something like this, I mean, Shaq's on it, but there's not really other big names on there.
2 years. So you have the penny year too.
Yeah.
So, I mean that trade really turned some heads in the NBA. This is a great piece. The Shaq. You remember in Upper Deck, Shaq's rookie year, you got that card that you would send in, and you got the draft pick.
Yes, I know you're talking about. Yep.
That redeemed card is worth a good amount of money for a junk era card.
No kidding. You know, interesting. No kidding.
So I think that's how. I mean, I got a couple. I'll try to make it quick, but you know, it's not every day we have someone in here that can let me know what's worth it and what. So is that worth?
Lamelo's a big guy right now.
I got this Morant.
Jaws rookie. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing I want to ask you is, I got this from I think Fanatics or something.
Yep.
So it's a 10, but what's the difference between a PGI, obviously, in a, you know what I mean?
So there are a lot of these encasing companies. I call them encasing companies because the market doesn't really respect their grade.
I get what you're saying.
PGI is one of them. Although Fanatics is now tagging their own Fanatics.
Okay.
I believe those are holding a little more water
Okay.
than like a PGI. This thing's in great shape. I would send this to get subbed to another.
So I was going to ask you, so something like that.
What card is it?
It's Jason Tatum rookie.
Tatum.
Beauty. Oh, yeah, that's a beauty.
Beautiful card.
Nice
Yeah.
card. Yeah.
So I think that
So there you
was,
go. Yeah, that's a good point. I want to kind of reiterate that. So, I see these encasing companies, and so, hey, maybe it's worth you crack them open, I guess, and you send them out.
You crack them and you send them back out.
There you go.
But very careful. There are some YouTube videos that help you crack them. It's not as easy as they look. You don't want to damage the card.
Right.
correct.
It's risky doing it, but I mean, I know guys that have gotten a 9 from Beckett and caught a good guy on at PSA and got a 10 out of it. And that's the negative on the grading companies is the personalities.
Right.
You're gonna see someone with a 10, and you're gonna see something wrong with it.
When you're going to think your card's
And
better,
someone's
right?
got a 9, and there was a new company that tried to do artificial. Great idea. They just weren't ready for the overflow.
I get what you're saying, yeah.
And they got peppered because again,
Everyone's trying to send them in.
again, if you wear Jordans, and no matter who it is comes up to you and said, "Hey, I got a new Spalding sneaker I want you to try," you're gonna find problems with it very quickly,
Mhm.
even if it's the best basketball sneaker you've ever worn.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to HGA, which is the company. They do some cool slabs, some cool colors, but they weren't able to keep up
Right.
with the.
And what about the reprint stuff? I know there's a lot of reprint stuff, but some guys are trying to sell that stuff sometimes and make it look like it's real. What's the story with
So
that?
when a card is reprinted, there's usually an RP. Most sellers should sell it as an RP.
Yeah.
You'll see on eBay they'll throw it in there RP. A lot of people don't know what that RP stands for,
Yeah.
but they're really telling you it's a reprint.
They have it, folks. RP reprint. Watch out for that if you think you're getting a real one.
Realistically, if you get a Jordan rookie for $57,
Yeah.
And that's
There's a
it's
reason.
a lot of the big cards. Topps made a mistake last year. Topps did their own reprints of relic autographs in last year's Topps series.
Wow.
And in person, when you hold it, you can tell it's not a real autograph. It's not a bat knob. But what they did was they said cards of the century, or I forget the actual tag of it, but it was like a copy of Mike Trout's signed bat knob, which sells for about $4,000. And people were putting them up there and just listing the card because it's technically not a reprint. And people were thinking they were getting an autographed
When they
card,
really weren't.
and it was just a
Wow.
reprint. Yeah.
Holy smokes. Well, there you have it, folks. We brought in some of our cards. We're going into what the goodies are, what people have been waiting for. So what are we going to crack here today, Jared?
So I brought all the newer products. Select's a little older, but Mosaic Football is the newest football product. Mosaic Basketball pretty much just came out, and Select Basketball is semi-new. Every card works its way up in price. So right at the beginning of the season, right before the season starts, you'll actually see draft product.
Yes.
So Prism Draft, Prestige. As the year goes on, the product gets more expensive and better, in my opinion.
So you should try to get into those early.
Exactly. These kind of just hit Walmart. They hit Walmart at $30, but then nobody ever sees them. We probably take them in to our shop at about $50.
Yeah.
And try to keep it lower than what the resale value is.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're a business, so we got
Of course.
I tell everybody, the collectors go after the early stuff. The resellers go after the bigger stuff. Mosaic is probably my favorite product, even though Prism and Select come out afterwards, and Optic, which are more expensive.
Mhm.
But Mosaic is a nice looking card, and
It's glossy. It's nice.
Glossy, the color variation.
Yeah, it really is.
So yeah, I'll actually open that one first.
There we go. So I got my dibs on the New York Jets because they're the cheapest ones. So I want a Zach Wilson.
Listen,
you child, you.
So I'll tell you about Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson still got some value.
Really, no kidding.
I was in a break. Mosaic. They also do first off the line in hobby.
Okay.
So first off the line is a couple $100 more than the regular hobby. But there's always one variation in there that you can't get anywhere else.
Wow.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So in first off the line Mosaic, they have 2 of 11 splash cards, 1 green, 1 pink. Only 11, but there's everybody's in that set. So if you get Mike Gesicki, you're not really.
Yeah.
So I had the Jets, and I had a Zach Wilson.
Wow.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Raw, it's about $600-700.
Wow. Holy smokes.
There you go for your Jets, kid.
Here I am. Let's go, Jets.
I sent it out express to be graded, and it gemmed. So we're probably looking at like $3,000.
Wow.
No kidding. Because if he explodes, that's even more.
That's it. And if he doesn't explode, I got about a year, about 7 months to sell it.
Yeah.
So
there we go. First one. Here we go.
So Antonio Gibson now, all breaks, you're really looking for the numbered cards and rookies. So Antonio Gibson, John Elway. They'll always throw in silver. So actually, this isn't a bad card. It's a silver variation of Chuba Hubbard.
Okay.
The rookie from
the Panthers.
Panthers.
There we go. And when guys are doing the breaks, you suggest them to kind of put it aside and like
most breaks are when you're breaking this, you got to trust who you're breaking with.
Yeah.
There's some shady stuff that goes on. You'll always see most guys are going to keep everything in front of them. Some guys you'll even see an overhead.
Yeah.
You don't even want to give anyone the idea that you're switching something.
Yeah. There you go, folks. Watch out for that.
Oh, I can tell you the next card's pretty good already.
The
Trevor Lawrence, right?
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's Ian Book. Ian Book.
Oh,
was
sorry.
The last card.
Oh, well, it looked like Lawrence from here.
Still a rookie. So, and anybody just getting into it, I tell them all rookies you put aside. Even if someone sounds like they're not going to be good, you never know what the next man up is going to be. So Denzel Mims, second year. Dan Marino, man of the year. You'll always see, especially in these later versions, you'll get a lot of Hall of Famers as like secondary cards.
Yeah.
Yep. But again, the numbered cards still hold their value. So like that Dan Marino, I got a similar John Elway, which is a white. It's probably one of my favorite parallels in the year.
Wow.
All white. Again, it's like $100 card when that's a 10-cent card. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right?
It's amazing. Wow.
So quarterbacks are always your highest value. So Dak Prescott, green variation. So I'm trying to show the camera. Every box has a color that comes with it. So your blaster boxes will have. I actually didn't see what. Blaster boxes just come with 4 mosaics. So it guarantees the mosaic parallel. This one would be a green.
Okay. Is there a color? No, I've seen greens, pinks, purples. Like which color?
So you have retail colors, which won't be numbered. There's a website that'll tell you kind of the range of how many were printed.
Okay.
Then you'll deal with your whites, which are of 25.
Those are rare, yeah. Whites.
Golds are of 10.
Wow. Really interesting.
It's usually a black or a black Pandora that's going to be your 1 of 1.
Oh, I see. Yep.
So
I think I have a Colt Clement like that. It's a black.
Black, yep. But then like it's crazy. There's also that's a mosaic hobby I showed you. This was a mosaic blaster. They also make things called choice boxes, which would take almost every card out of this box and get rid of it, and only give you 7 cards for, I think they're about $900 now. Wow. It's gonna have 1 autograph, and every card is numbered in there.
Wow.
Holy smokes. Wow.
And exclusive to the choice are peacocks, which in these colors you'll see actually it's almost like peacock feathers. All
Okay.
around.
That's pretty
Those
cool.
are
It's different though.
Definitely.
Those are considered a short print. Out of retail, you have a Genesis, which is like a purple and a blue.
Mm-hmm.
That's not numbered, but it's considered a short.
There's so much
shorter print.
information.
So many. I'm still learning. There are guys that'll can just look at a card and see that and say, "Oh yeah, that's the black Pulsar Mozart." It's green and blue to me, and I know the number, you know. So let's see if we get anything crazy here. I mean that Shelby Hubbard's a decent card as a silver, yeah. So Garoppolo, Kwity Paye, Trey McKitty, rookie out of the Chargers. Kicker from Atlanta. I'm not gonna mess up his name, so last name Koo.
Oh, Young Ho Koo.
Actually came to the Patriots to try out.
He did try out
and did not make it. And instead we got a guy that never made the field, a fifth rounder, who has 10,000 tattoos. Thank you very much for playing.
So as you can see, Randy Moss.
That's cool.
All base cards. Saquon Barkley. This is a new variation that they came out with. Touchdown Masters. Almost looks like they're NBA Jam characters.
Yeah, the head's a little bigger, right?
Jam, yeah.
That's cool.
Well,
That's pretty cool, yeah.
and actually, hey, next guy up, Kyle Trask. I mean,
There you go.
You don't want to put that aside.
You might get some playing time this year.
Yeah.
Same thing, and you see it like last year. You know, Aaron Rodgers was thinking about not playing, and all of a sudden Jordan Love's
Stuff must have went up a little
value
bit.
went up,
Yeah.
and now it's going back up again because
There's questions about him.
Aaron doesn't make a decision ever. So we got a really good card.
Here we go.
So we got a Genesis, and it's a
Ooh.
rookie Genesis. Ben Shorikin. I'm glad this came out because these are tough to pull. But
Hope you're chiming in, folks.
it's not numbered, but you can see that blue and purple.
Oh yeah. Wow, that's pretty cool.
The camera can see it. That's actually one of the main cards you're looking for out of retail is that Genesis.
So something like that, right? Where it's a guy that really isn't known, but it's like a special card. Is there value in something like that?
Still value.
Okay.
And the thing is that it doesn't say anything.
Doesn't say anything. And this is the craziest
That's
one.
sweet, man.
We almost made a mistake. Oh, I shouldn't say me, but someone else in the shop.
That won't be mentioned. That's not here today.
in the mosaic, the one of one is called the Nebula.
Okay.
It looks very similar to this Genesis. It just has a little black, and it's got pink in the top corner. If you put this side by side, you probably couldn't tell looking quickly.
Yeah.
We had a Nebula one of one Troy Aikman in the shop.
Oh.
On the side of it, we had a Genesis Deshaun Watson.
Ooh.
One of the guys decided they were going to go price the cards, and they looked up values and started pricing the cards. The kid walks in and he says, "How much is that Troy Aikman Genesis right there? Does that say $50?" I'm like, "We don't have a Troy Aikman Genesis." I looked down, it was the 101 Nebula. I'm like, "Ooh, bud, that's have another zero on there."
So
Go ahead.
But yeah, so there's always a value, especially.
there we go. Try that. Here we go.
There's always a value, especially now with the internet, because there are plenty of Rams fans out there.
Of course, now.
You know,
Right.
and everybody's looking for the next guy. And now wide receivers, defense, they have much less value than the quarterback.
Mhm.
Of course.
But still,
So nothing has changed in that regard.
Nope,
Still the
nope.
quarterback.
Nope.
Number one guy. Number two guy, what do you think? Is it a receiver? Is it a running back? Is it offense? Or does it go to like the corner or defensive end or something?
it then really fluctuates on
Fluctuates,
the player.
Okay.
Game changers outside of a quarterback. Game
Game.
changers.
Okay.
So
They have a game changer.
So J.J. Watt still has some value.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Lawrence Taylor, Barry Sanders. Those guys now, everybody's trying to predict the next one.
Of course.
So and it shows right with cards too. You'll see, I'm a huge Patriots fan. I don't think Mac Jones was the best quarterback coming out of the draft. I know that's not popular with listeners here. I am 100% all in on the Patriots. I'm just not sold on his skill set. The team rallies around him. He could be great through this team. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
The couple games I went to, I was
so basically you need to see more, right?
Oh yeah,
I
think we should the same thing here. We're not like 100%. He's the guy. I think our thing is just I'm willing to be a little more patient.
Yeah,
I guess to see.
I'm patient. I love the team.
Yeah.
But
and when he got picked, I mean, there was nothing left. Right?
And that's what I try to kind of calm everybody down. You got to remember.
It wasn't like Lawrence. It wasn't
what was left.
It wasn't right. It wasn't like Trevor Lawrence was. And if they hadn't taken him,
right,
then they would have been griping about the fact they didn't take a quarterback.
Right. You know, yeah, they had to go there.
They had to go there, right, and take a chance. But I know what you're saying. It's still a work in progress.
The coaching staff is, you have to say, one of the best coaching staffs of all time. And if they can't turn and again, don't get mad at me, a mediocre quarterback into something good, nobody's going to.
Yeah.
And I see what you're saying.
You know, Brady wasn't Brady. I can't believe it. I'm sorry if I'm getting off subject. In my opinion, Brady wasn't Brady until he developed into Brady.
Of course, and that's what we talk about.
2001 to 2004, Brady was okay. He did what had to be done, and even he said it that I wasn't there to win games. I was there not to lose games.
Right.
And
which is a good attitude to have.
Great. But what he turned into was himself working at it over off season.
His work ethic was instrumentally the best. No question about it.
Anybody that's ever seen him play live and watch how they call him slow, but nobody could touch him in the pocket. That's learned over time. And I think Mac can do that
if the work is there.
I
agree.
But I can't. There are guys ready to crown him. The heir apparent, and you can't really
right.
do that.
And that's why, and so folks, that's why we're trying to say that's why I think the other argument is the unfair comparison of him to Brady. That shouldn't even be a discussion. That's an unfair discussion. Unfair. Very unfair. Right. Let him be him. And figure out if there's anything there. And after probably a few years, a few seasons, it's probably right. So we'll see. But good talk there. What do we got?
And it's kind of anticlimactic now that you just hit a genesis. But Joe Schroeder, Baker Mayfield, DK Metcalf.
There we go.
Metcalf's nice. Another mosaic.
Mm-hmm.
These are part of the retail, just silver mosaics, unnumbered. Yeah, I'm still taking.
That's a guy that might be on the trade block.
That's it. Metcalf, I'd love to see.
And he's cheap. That's definitely a Patriots type of trade right there.
I would love to see that type of player.
Because Russell Wilson's not staying in Seattle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the best card is actually one that I wouldn't even think.
You wouldn't even think. Yep.
It's a player that is not really known. Is he a tight end or something?
He's wide out.
Wide out?
I don't think he saw the field much. Although Hubbard's silver is.
That's a nice card. Hubbard has some good moments.
Well, I think Hubbard's going to be the number one guy because they're talking about trading McCaffrey too in the offseason. So.
Wow. Yeah.
He's another guy that can't stay on the field. So.
Yeah, unfortunately.
True.
There you have it. There's one break. We got a couple left.
I got a basketball mosaic.
Basketball. Here we go. So you hoop heads, basketball, Celtics coming on, had a tough loss, they went 2-1 on the road and still like 9 games above 500.
That was going to be my gripe too, is the fact that James Harden and Joel Embiid had 2 good games. Now, how come the Celtics couldn't do something like that? You see how good they played against 2 shitty ass teams, right? Let's calm down.
Yeah, right.
Let's see what happens when they play against good teams. Just like get it. The Celtics kind of sucked late, in January, and they finally got their heads out of their ass, right?
Celtics are playing great right now.
But to crown Harden and Embiid like the next coming of Christ is slow down.
Well, you know what? Because that's what they want in business. They want those players to be great, to rub it in our faces as local people that's what they should have done. So in other words, you can't use the same argument twice. If you're going to say, well, the Patriots played crappy teams during that stretch. Well, then I guess I can say the same thing here because
exactly.
The Sixers haven't played any.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we'll see. That's going to implode. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So this is what we call a hanger box.
All right.
It's a box, but it's a pack. One clear pack. I've never been a hanger guy. Never liked them. It's what everybody looks for now for some reason.
Really? Why do you think? Is it a value thing?
The term that you hear most is hangers have bangers.
I like that.
They come in all the time.
I think
And
for the next week's show, we were going to call our show "Hangers Have Bangers."
So
we'll change the name of the
you
show.
can still, right on South Main Street. You could still get hobby stuff out of retail. It's just much thinner.
Sure.
So everybody's pulled a 101 here and there out of a hanger. It's a cheaper option. One nice pack, and you get your 4 parallels. Like I said, everything has a color. So hangers usually through Mosaic, it's orange. So in every hanger, there's going to be 4 orange cards. Retail exclusive to that hanger. We're looking for LaMelo Ball. Pretty much that's about it. LeBron numbers, any numbered card really of rookies and or
John Morant or something.
John Morant, second-year rookie would be good, but you really the main part of the hobby now is those rookies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Are there fluctuations between sports?
unless
Between like basketball and football, or is the protocol still the same? Like a second-year guy that explodes.
This is a statement I give to everybody in the store. Your 3 main sports are like 3 sections of the stock market.
Okay.
So baseball is like your S&P 500. Short money, you get in low. It's going to take you a little while to produce money. Because what happens in baseball, the rookies you're getting in this year's product are only going through the minor leagues.
Yep.
So their product doesn't hit until they actually touch major leagues.
Who knows if they're even going to make the majors, right?
Exactly. So that's why it's S&P 500, because the value's still there and low to get in, but it's just going to take you 4 or 5 years to even see a
To
return.
get there, yeah.
Football are like your blue chip stocks.
Right.
You're educated, it's quarterback, it's some wide receiver, maybe one defensive playmaker. You're educated on their stats, and they gradually go up accordingly. Google, AOL, that type of thing. Basketball is crypto. Basketball is the most fluctuating market there is. John Morant rolls his ankle and misses 2 games. His card might go down 10%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Wow.
for that basketball is so up and down. Where, like we talked about Burrow, his cards went down. Not so much went down, but they didn't rise as much as Herbert because he got hurt, but never dropped. You'll see a guy actually lose $10 for missing a game, or
Wow.
it's very, very up and down.
Very interesting.
But, so Darius Gallard, these are all just base cards. Rudy Gobert, Kawhi Leonard, Clint Capella, Rudy Gay, Brandon Ingram, Anthony Davis. So now we're into the rookies. Mason Jones. Good variation that comes out of Mosaic, which some do go for money. They always do. They do a USA version, so they'll have their countries.
That's cool.
Cool parallel, cool variation. I guess not so much a parallel. Malachi Flynn, Aaron Naismith. There we go.
It is LaMelo Ball.
There we go. LaMelo Ball base. So that paid for more than the box right there. Well, that's what we're looking for.
Nice.
And now we're in our oranges.
More than the box. What are you thinking? Come on, I want to hear numbers, man.
What's that?
These people want to hear numbers. What do we got?
That's got to be probably $30-$40 base raw.
Wow.
That's his regular. So on Mosaic, you'll see a base card, and there's also a base rookie card, and they'll be there for basketball. It'll say NBA debut. People are looking more for the base, the true rookie, not the variation.
So something like this, it's not it's not a Mosaic. It's probably a little cheaper than.
Similar, $20, $15.
Okay.
When that product was out, it was probably a $35-$40 card. You know what I'm saying? But Hoops was one of the first to come out,
Yes.
and now it's lost a little thunder.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now we're on oranges. Joe Harris, Cameron Payne, James Weissman orange. So
That's another good one.
rookie orange goes to the side. T. Stiebel, second year. And just like the football, they do Jam Masters, which are like
The big heads.
like the big heads, the NBA Jam cards. And another parallel bang, which
I looked quick. I thought it was a Colby card that would have had to go in a top loader, but it's not.
Sorry about that pause. People are like, wait, it's like really, it really is like the lottery.
It is.
You get like tingling sensation. I was doing breaks like crazy on Facebook.
Yep.
It was like literally tingling sensation.
But you
It's
gotta,
like,
but there was nothing else to do during the pandemic either.
Right.
So
You know, a lot of guys, we have guys that tell us they don't buy scratch tickets anymore
yeah.
because it's really similar to a scratch ticket.
We're going to hold tight. We're going to get one more break, and then we come back with that last break for you, and we'll kind of wrap up the show. So, hang tight. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Jared. We'll do one more break on hoops, and we'll see you at the other end. Don't go anywhere. Down.
Yep.
And we're back, folks, at 508-974-3040. If you're chiming in, it's our sports podcast every Monday, 6:30 to 7:30, coming in clutch. And we have a great special guest today, Mr. Jared Santos, dealing with sports memorabilia, sports collectibles, cards, breaks. We just went through a couple of breaks. And Jared, why don't you go ahead and take your time and talk about your plug and what you got going on.
Thank you, guys. So we want to run a website, Cards Gone Wild. It's a Facebook group that we put together to do breaks, things like that. Last week, close friend, son found out leukemia. So we put together a fundraiser. Anyone wants to check Cards Gone Wild on their Facebook page. There are, I believe, about 7 or 8 prizes right now, $10 per spot. First prize is a signed Brady jersey frame, the ones you've seen in my shop.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get $1,000. This group has put together already over $4,000.
Wow.
They've added 2 different sets of Red Sox tickets to the prize pool, set of Celtics tickets. So anybody in the sports looking for a good prize for a good cause, check out Cards Gone Wild. Also, again, this is really close to home. Close friend, Fall River resident. Also, there's a GoFundMe. Anybody that just like to donate, I'd really appreciate it if you could check out GoFundMe.com. And if you just type #OHenry, that's a place to donate as well. Really appreciate it. I thank you guys for letting me do that.
Of course.
Anytime.
Excellent.
Really close to home, and we're hoping it's going to be a long run. The doctor said, I quote them all the time, treatable and beatable. But little guy's 7 years old. He's probably going to be in the hospital another month. and maybe 2 years of treatment. So
Very difficult times.
lost wages and groceries and things.
Right.
Anything we can do to help. So,
So,
I
folks,
appreciate it, guys. Thank
No
you.
problem. Get on that. Go support that cause. Jared is a community guy, much like us. We do this because we love sports, and it's a wonderful thing. It's a magical moment when you can bring sports into an event that is for someone who really needs it and is looking for it. So, chime in on that site. Check out the hashtag. Any little contribution helps. As a sports person, how can you not do this? I'll be going on there myself.
Great prizes
and
on
doing
there.
things.
Yeah,
High-end prizes, folks.
High-end
High-end
prizes,
that can change
Yeah.
your collection. If you hit on one of those.
That's it. Actually, they were just added when we hit 400 spots. Brady rookie, 2000 Fleer Brady rookie is one of the prizes in there.
Cool.
I believe they added and some product too. I believe there's a hobby box of Mosaic baseball. Every time they've hit a number, another great member to the group has added a prize.
That's cool.
That's
very, very cool.
That's cool.
That's
It's
going
growing.
to run until at least tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. But with all the buzz, I think we may extend it another day or two, considering they just added another set of Red Sox. And a great guy in the group actually put 3 tickets into the the raffle, and also matched 3 tickets given to the family for whatever.
Wow. What a
gets
gift.
Healthy. So
Tremendous.
Amazing stuff.
There you have it, folks. So good stuff and a good cause, and we hope the very best for that little boy as he goes through him and his family through this tough time. So
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate
no
it.
problem. We're gonna go into our last break here. It's gonna be a hoop
Last
break.
one's going
right?
to be select basketball.
Select basketball. Okay.
So, oh boy.
I don't know. It reads, I have a Kobe card, signature, game 1 jersey swap, 125. What do you think?
Value.
30,000,
Wow.
right around there. I want to say game used are tough. There is a Holy Grail card out there. It was pulled a long time ago. Nobody knows who owns it. It is a 1 of 1 out of Upper Deck. It is Colby Jordan signed. The 2 patches in it are the logo man from both of their finals jerseys.
Wow.
Just
imagine that, man.
It's probably already 7 figures.
Wow.
It's amazing. But I've actually seen that similar card. Whoever's asking, it's probably sideways white with a purple or yellow patch, I believe. I've seen one go for about 25,000. I know Jeff. Jeffson.
You know what? If anybody has one, it probably is.
I believe Jeff's in one of the groups. If Jeff's not in Cards Gone Wild, I believe he's in Hoops and Hearts, which is another great group.
Awesome stuff.
That's donated.
Thanks for chiming in, Jeff.
What you said the name? Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
So we're on the select.
Here we go.
Select is similar to Mosaic. A lot of variations. What Select does is they give you levels of the card. So you'll see on the back, there'll be premier level, concourse level, court level. Your court levels are what everybody wants.
Of course, the big
those are
money
better
ones. Yep.
I couldn't tell you the difference until I read the back, depending. These are all considered concourse, which are all the base. I apologize.
It's all right.
Fred Van Vliet, Payne Pritchard rookie. I like him.
Me too.
Payne Pritchard reminds me of the guy you get when you start a career mode in NBA 2K.
Yeah, you kind of.
I think so.
He's so basic, like he hasn't even gotten his sweatband yet. And
It is kind of true now that you say that, though.
And then he gets hot in 1 quarter, and you're like, "This is the guy.
Yeah.
I'm a genius."
So John Morant, second year cards build value well over time. A 2nd year card is great to hold, but it's not going to show you a lot of value right away. When the rookie card meets a number that nobody wants to pay, a 2nd year card then becomes a
next popular thing.
Same thing with like Jordan's 2nd years, Bird's 2nd years. You'll see a lot of that holds some good value. RJ Hampton, same thing. Premier, Jason Tatum, all concourse. Kenyon Martin Jr. Sabonis, Zach Levine, it's all base cards. RJ Hampton, same thing. Rookies and colors. Marcus Smart regular. Now out of the select hanger, you're gonna get the 4 shimmer cards, which I don't know if that camera catches that. It's an orange red shimmer. Can you zoom?
Making them work tonight.
Right up a little, there you go.
There we go.
There we go.
So you see that shimmer? Those are the cards.
That's nice.
So out of select, that's what everybody's looking for out of the hangers. So it's LaMelo, it's a couple rookies. We didn't get one rookie.
Naismith.
Naismith,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you got 2 in a row,
And
right?
2 Aaron Naismiths in a row. Great.
In case you didn't get enough the first time.
And parallel Azubuki, and then you'll get that silver. So this is going to be concourse, but silvers are tough. Looks like a regular card until
Oh yeah,
see
there's
that
that's
rainbow.
that rainbow.
Same
Yeah.
thing with that Chubba Hubbard. RJ Barrett, 2nd year silver, and a Giannis. We don't know how old he is, but
Not bad though.
There we go, not bad.
yeah, I listen. To pull a silver Hubbard and a Genesis out of a box, that's a good box. Pulling LaMelo, any LaMelo out of retail.
Yeah, he's fire right now.
He
That
is-
guy.
he
So I got-
really is.
I have a LaMelo. It is a mosaic, I believe.
Yep.
But it's the draft one before he got drafted.
So that would have been out of probably Chronicles.
I believe
Right.
so. Yep.
So Chronicles is a cool product. What they do is Chronicles does a product at the beginning of the season called Chronicles Draft.
Mhm.
And what they do is they mix in, same thing at the end, they mix in all of their lines into the Chronicles line.
Okay.
So your base cards are going to be worth relatively less than the rest of the other base cards, unless they didn't come out with that product this year.
Okay.
So like out of baseball and Chronicles Baseball, Luis Robert, his rookie card, they did mosaics out of Chronicles. They didn't do mosaic baseball last year.
Okay.
So his Chronicles mosaic baseball was actually one of the rookies people were looking for
I get what you're saying.
because it was left
Because it was
over.
left over. There
Right,
you go.
Exactly. Like in last year's Chronicles basketball, the big parallel was Flux. They came out with a Flux line this year because
Mhm.
it was so popular
Of course.
as a parallel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, man. That for those of you who chimed in and stuck around, we did go over our typical hour, but how can we not? I mean, this is a tremendous topic. It's a hot button of topic. A lot of people are into it. Of all ages, really.
All ages. All ages.
I see kids, getting.
Unfortunately, it's not a kids thing anymore.
No, it's not. It
The
really
prices
isn't.
have really just keep kids out of it. That's kind of what
It's
we
all
try
about
to do.
making money now.
It is.
We try to bring in some older packs, which are fun to rip, but dad comes in and buys, a $60 blaster. He could buy his kid maybe a couple dollar, old 1992 Skybox
Yeah.
or something. And
Yeah.
you still pull Birds, you still pull Jordans, but again, junk era. So unless they're perfect, then you send them out.
Correct,
Not worth
yeah.
much, yeah. There you have it.
But nice to have. Great cards.
Exactly.
Well, Jared, obviously, I mean, if you're interested, we'd probably love to have you maybe once a month. We do something like this.
Yeah,
You know
that'd
what I
be
mean?
great. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'd love to have Jared. We'll bring on Jared back. So, folks, we're getting ready to wrap things up here for this special edition of collections of cards and memorabilia. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I certainly definitely did. Jared is a plethora of knowledge, and he's right in your local hometown, right in Fall River here. So go support that. Go check out. He's got a great place. You walk in, you kind of forget about stuff. It consumes you in when he's got memorabilia everywhere, and it's very organized, which is really nice.
That's my OCD.
It sucks you in, though. Sucks you right in, though. You know what I mean?
You look at the glass, you look through, and everything's so organized, and so you've done a great job with that place, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So, I'm not sure if there's any other thoughts that you got, Cole, or anything, Jared,
No.
you might want to add, but
The only thing I just had to get this plug in before we get out of here is my PC Friars, baby. Finally got over that hump and became the Big East regular season champions for the
Yes, they
first
did.
time in program
Big win,
history.
big win.
yep. So all the luckiness that they thought were being lucky, we went to that game
We were there live.
and we went to watch it, and Creighton got their butts handed to them. And I love seeing McDermott chew people out, on the Creighton team. And it was a epic memorial thing, watching people just flood the court, and Ed Cooley coming out, and doing his thing, and it was a great experience with that. So I'm glad that we went, and it was a tremendous experience for us to be able to go see that. So if you're not into the PC thing, if you're not into PC, you better be into it now, because they have the real deal, and they're going to get into that big
They're
dance.
there. They get their seed now. That's a great win.
It is
tremendous
and
win.
honestly, I wouldn't put it past them. I think they're going to win the Big East tournament. I mean, they're playing so well right now. They're playing as a team, and once they get into the tournament, I mean, it's anybody's game. I don't care if you're Duke, North Carolina, Gonzaga. When you're playing in that tournament, it's a different.
It is, and anything goes at that point.
Their front court are monsters.
Yeah,
They're not built like normal big men that play basketball.
Yeah, they're all seniors.
They're built like football players.
Yep.
Really
Big guys, Croswell, Watson, just big guys.
But again, you don't see seniors actually make it in college. They're all leaving after their sophomore years. You know what I mean? So
it was a tremendous thing for me to see. It was an unbelievable experience. Ed Cooley talking to the crowd. It just seemed so real, and so it felt like championship. It felt like championship sports. It was a wonderful.
Storms the court.
Yeah, it's like I want to do that.
Yeah.
So
it was cool to see them raise a trophy.
Yep, exactly. So there you have it, folks. That'll be it for our show. As always, it's every Monday night, 6:30 to 7:30. We try to bring on local guests just like this. So keep chiming in. Without your support, we can't keep the podcast going. So I want to thank RFB Media and our new environment, our new station here in Fall River. And of course, this cannot be possible without our great sponsor, which is being brought to you by Troy City Mortgage and his partner over at the Walsh Title and Closing, working together as a team to bring you the best home buying experience. As you know, that can be a daunting task. So they're getting together as partners from soup to nuts. Troy City Mortgage is the best place to get that mortgage in Mass and Rhode Island, so don't feel left out, Rhode Island, led by the great Dave Pereira. And the team at Troy City have local roots and deep knowledge and expert solutions to get you the very best mortgage possible. Give them a call at 508-207-5864. That's all I got, folks. What do you got, Cole?
And also, if you're looking for a DJ, springtime, summer's coming. This is when everyone's looking for parties.
Yeah.
DJ Classic. Looking for an instant classic? Make sure you book DJ Classic. You can book him at bookdjclassic.yahoo.com.
Yeah.
And also Core Nutrition, 25 Market Street. That's in Swansea. Just like Nelly said earlier, best shakes around, especially summer's coming. People are trying to lose some pounds. Head on down to see Anna in the game.
There you go. Jared, one last thing for you?
Just if everybody has a chance to go check out that GoFundMe, please. If we could just help out a little bit, really appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Like I said, it's going to be a long road for that family, and we'd really like to help them out.
There you have it, folks. So that's it for our show today. And I'm Nelson.
I'm Colby.
And we are out. We'll see you next week.